I came here to catch a criminal, but ironically, not only did I not catch him, but he also gave me a flower. I can't believe the first flower in my life came from my enemy. What a shameful failure. Hello guys, Teri is back. Although I failed to arrest Vincen, at least I prevented his evil plan against my family. Furthermore, he couldn't harm me or my beautiful advisor, Karina, when he trapped us in that cellar. If you want to hear more about our case, please like and subscribe. Much obliged. I returned home after letting Henry and Vincen slip away from me. It could be said that this was a failure on my part, but the feeling of having a truly dangerous villain confront me made me very excited. Karina, we finally met a real villain!
Teri? Why do you seem so excited about this? It's a very scary thing.
Karina, justice cannot tremble before crime. I will bring the light of justice down on their heads.
But Teri, he almost took our lives in that basement, remember?
That's why the light side is always difficult, Karina, but they will never give up, and neither will we.
Teri and I then brought the whole incident about Vincen to the police headquarters to find more information. But the strange thing is that neither the names Vincen nor Henry exist on the system. They used fake identities to trick us.
Oh, of course. What a villain. Well done to you, Vincen.
A few days later, when Teri was telling me a lot of theories about Vincen, we received a call from the police. I didn't expect that Teri's reputation had now reached this level.
Let's go, Karina. We have a serious case pending.
When we arrived, all we saw was two policemen carrying out a stretcher containing a body. I didn't expect that we would have to face a murder so soon. Teri was given some information by the police about the unfortunate victim. And what we know is that the victim is Mrs. Gloria, who is middle-aged and lives alone at home. At the scene, the police discovered the victim was tied tightly to the bed, and placed next to her was a handmade needle with the number 4 delicately engraved on it. In addition, many traces of a murder on appropriate property was also discovered at the scene. The only witness related to the incident was a guy named Amburfin Moore. He discovered every door of the victim's house was open while jogging early in the morning, so he decided to call the police. We then decided to go to Ambur's house to find out more information.
Excuse me, who are you two?
I'm Detective Teri, and this is Karina, my advisor. We have a few questions to ask you.
Oh, of course. Please come inside.
Okay, Ambur, can you tell us more about how you discovered the case and your relationship with Miss Gloria?
Like I told the police, this morning around 7 a.m. while I was jogging, I passed by her house and I discovered that both her main door and the fence door were wide open. Mrs. Gloria is a very private neighbor. You can go ask the residents around here. We rarely see her go out and almost never see her talking to anyone. So when I saw all the doors of Mrs. Gloria's house open, I knew for sure that something unusual was happening inside. Sigh, poor Mrs. Gloria.
Thank you, Ambur. Can I possibly see you again next time, in case I have any more questions?
Of course, but don't be later than 9 p.m. I need enough sleep to prepare for my master's degree.
We returned to police headquarters that day to check the results of their forensic examination. The victim's time of death was said to be around 4 a.m. There was a trace left on the body showing that the perpetrator used the same needle he left at the scene to inject a large amount of tetrodotoxin directly into the victim's body after he tied the victim to the bed. In addition, there were also 4 very valuable properties that were taken by the perpetrator, including a necklace, a pair of earrings, an ancient statue, and a bracelet, all of them made of precious metal.
In my opinion, this is an extremely professional murderer. Although the scene was extremely clear, and the signs that he had ransacked the whole house looking for the most valuable objects were obvious, in the end, it was like we were watching a ghost do it all. Not a single fingerprint or shoe print, not even a strand of his hair, was left at the scene. That's what the police told me. But Detective Teri will go back there and start the investigation all over again. I went back to the house of the ill-fated Mrs. Gloria and looked at every little corner of that house in the hope that I would find some clue that would prevent Mrs. Gloria's death from being unfair. Every inch of that house was carefully examined by me, but what the police told me was completely true. There was not a single fingerprint, a strange shoe print, or even a piece of soil from outside that strayed into this house. It was as if he had teleported here, murdered Gloria, and then disappeared the same way he appeared. But I finally found what I wanted. Deep in a drawer that was previously used by Mrs. Gloria to store her jewelry box, there was a medical glove. Miss Gloria is not a doctor, so this glove definitely belongs to the person who murdered her and took her precious jewelry box. Please rest in peace, Gloria. I will bring justice to you soon. I brought that glove back to Poppy, but to mine and Karina's surprise, Poppy, after smelling the glove, cried out pitifully and hid under the bed.
There must be a problem with this glove, Teri. Let me do some experiments with it.
How good is it that a genius like Karina is always by my side? My beautiful advisor only needed a few small experiments with a glove to determine many things.
This glove contains many different poison samples. In addition to the poison that killed the victim, trodotoxin, I also found traces of brodifacium, botulinum, ricin, and mycotoxin.
So we're facing a potions master?
No, not only that, he is also an extremely skilled person. These toxins have an extremely easy to detect smell, and if you carelessly let even a drop onto the floor, it will leave a mark that is extremely difficult to clean.
So he must have been used to working with similar things. Maybe this murderer has medical expertise, or at least he has extremely profound chemical knowledge.
Extremely sharp reasoning, Teri.
With all the suggestions that Karina gave me, I decided to start by finding out all of Gloria's neighbors. But none of them worked or were even related to related industries. But then suddenly I saw something strange when reviewing the case file. Then the name Embyr Finmore caught my eye, and suddenly everything became very clear. Oh, Karina! You won't believe what I just discovered!
Oh Lord. Teri, are you trying to scare me to death? Is there anything new?
Do you remember the intricately engraved needle he left us?
Yes, it has a number 4 on it. Maybe he has a series of this, and this is the 4th one.
Oh no, my beautiful advisor, that's not his 4th one. Now listen, Mrs. Gloria died around 4 a.m. Only 4 items were taken from her entire huge treasure trove, and lastly was the needle with the number 4 on it.
You mean this guy really chose that number on purpose?
That's right, but without evidence, all hypotheses can only stay on paper, right? Now watch. What do you think about this name, Karina?
Isn't this the person who called the police, Embyr? This name sounds like that of a French person.
Now behold.
Oh my god, Teri. But are you sure about what you're saying?
If we take these things to the police station now, they will definitely think we have mental health problems, so we are on our own now.
So you do have any ideas?
Of course I do, my beautiful advisor.
The next day, Teri brought to the house a bunch of children wearing uniforms. Teri, this is...
Allow me to introduce the Teri Intelligence Department.
But Teri, are they...
Milk delivery kids. And to all of us, they are invisible. They come to our house every morning. They are everywhere in this neighborhood, but no one pays attention to them. And those are all the necessary elements for us to have a first-rate intelligence agency.
Teri's milk delivery kids soon spread out after they received their assignment from Teri. And less than a week later, we had results when one of the milk delivery girls brought us to a very important news.
This morning, when I delivered milk to that house, when I passed the trash can, I smell the very fragrant scent of almonds.
Karina smells of almonds. Do you feel familiar?
That is the smell of cyanide, an extremely toxic substance.
Everything is clear now. It's time to make him pay for his crime. I gave the girl a generous reward, then told Karina that she should stay home because this was an extremely dangerous murderer. I didn't want to put Karina in the same situation again as the last time we were trapped in that basement. I then went alone to the police station with all the data I had collected, and 2 armed police officers followed me to Ambier's house. When we arrived, we decided not to wait but to attack immediately. 2 policemen broke the door, and all 3 of us rushed in. But right after that, the entire house was almost immediately covered with toxic gas, which was the same gas that we had encountered in the basement the last time. But this time came with a much heavier dose. All 3 of us were lucky to rush out before suffocating in there, but we all collapsed to the ground and couldn't stop coughing. Right then, I heard the sound of the glass door breaking, and a dark figure dashed out. It was definitely Ambu. He ran straight to the car parked on his street, and we watched helplessly as he bowed to us. I thought I would fail again, but at the last moment, Karina suddenly appeared with a baseball bat and gave him a very strong blow from behind. Ambu lost consciousness immediately on the ground.
Come on, Teri. Justice shouldn't fall like this.
But Karina, how do you know how to use that?
After that time in the basement, I trained myself. Sometimes bad guys won't listen to our words, right?
Oh, Karina, once again, you saved me from losing a goal. It took a while for Ambir to wake up, but when he did, his hands were already handcuffed by 2 strong police officers. But he did not resist. On the contrary, he turned towards us and smiled very wickedly.
Master was right about you, Teri. But soon, we will meet again.
What a dangerous criminal. If it weren't for Karina, I probably would have failed again. Now we have to prepare well for the following cases. There will be many more dangerous people like Embu, or even more dangerous than him. See you next time. Peace out.
What a miserable failure, number 4.